Do you feel the vibes?
Have a nice day. Welcome to eLearningHub, signing on to give you another insight. Today we're going to tackle the nature of ethics in order for us to understand better the communication ethics. According to the Oxford English Dictionary 1963, the word ethics is derived from the Greek ethos, or the nature, or disposition of a culture. Ethics is further characterized as a both field of study concerned with moral principles and the moral principles that govern or influence human behavior. In order for us to understand the ethics better and to become adept in decision making, let's have the comparison of ethics and morals. Ethics originated from the Greek word ethos, meaning character. Character means moral or ethical quality like honesty, integrity, etc. Morals originated from the Latin word mos, meaning custom, a habitual practice, or it is the usual way of acting in a given circumstances. What is ethics? Ethics pertain to the rules of conduct recognized in respect to a particular class of human actions or a particular group or culture. While morals pertain to the principles or habits with respect to the right or wrong conduct. Morals also prescribe do's and don'ts. So, morality is ultimately a personal compass of right and wrong. Where do ethics come from? Ethics came from social system or external. Ethics are external standards that are provided by institutions, groups, or culture to which an individual belongs. For example, lawyers, policemen, and doctors all have to follow the ethical code laid down by their professions, regardless of their own feelings or preferences. Ethics can also be considered as a social system or a framework for acceptable behavior. In morals, it came from individual or internal. Morals are also influenced by culture or society, but they are personal principles created and upheld by individuals themselves. Why we do it? In ethics, we do it because society says it is the right thing to do. Example, the government made the policy of wearing face masks in order for the people to be safe in virus. Whether we like it or not, we need to wear face masks because that is the ethical way in following the policy. Or else you will face the consequence or punishment if you will not abide. In morals, we do it because we believe in something being right or wrong. For example, you wear face mask because you know that that is the right thing to do in order to spare you from a certain virus. When it comes to flexibility, ethics are dependent on others for definition. They tend to be consistent within a certain context, but can vary between contexts. Ethics are very consistent within a certain context, but can vary greatly between contexts. For example, the ethics of the medical profession in the 21st century are generally consistent and do not change from hospital to hospital, but they are different from the ethics of the 21st century legal profession. While in morals, morals usually consistent although can change if an individual's beliefs change. An individual's moral code is usually unchanging and consistent across all contexts, but it is also possible for certain events to radically change an individual's personal beliefs and values. What are the gray or blurry area? In ethics, a person strictly following ethical principles may not have any morals at all. Likewise, one could violate ethical principles within a given system of rules in order to maintain moral integrity. While in morals, a moral person, although perhaps bound by a higher covenant or written agreement, may choose to follow a code of ethics as it would apply to a system, make it fit. When it comes to acceptability, ethics are governed by professional and legal guidelines within a particular time and place. While in morals, morality transcends cultural norms. Cultural norms are the standards we live by. They are the shared expectations and rules that guide behavior of people within social groups. Cultural norms are learned and reinforced from parents, friends, teachers, and others while growing up in a society. There are conflicts between ethics and morals. One professional example of ethics conflicting with morals is the work of a defense attorney. A lawyer's morals may tell him that the murder is reprehensible and that the murderers should be punished, but his ethics as a professional lawyer require him to defend his client to the best of his abilities, even if he knows that the client is guilty. Another example can be found in the medical field. In most parts of the world, a doctor may not euthanize a patient, even at the patient's request, as per ethical standards for health professionals. However, the same doctor may personally believe in a patient's right to die, as per the doctor's own morality. If you are on that situations, what will be your brilliant decisions? Or what will be the course of actions that you will do? To enlighten us more, let's take the definition of Farhisgar and Farhisgar 2006 regarding on ethics. Ethics defined as the critical analysis of cultural values to determine the validity of their vigorous rightness or wrongness in terms of two major criteria: truth and justice. Ethics is examining the relation of an individual to society, to nature, and to God. How do people make ethical decisions? They are influenced by how they perceive themselves in relation to goodness and or excellence. Based on this definition, the study of ethics is concerned with cultural value systems that are operable, either with intending to do something or actually doing something in the realm of goodness. Making the determination of goodness is not always black and white. To help illustrate this point, we will now examine four sample scenarios. The four situations given contain two parts: means and ends. Means are tools or behaviors that one employs to achieve a desired outcome. Ends are those outcomes that one desires to achieve. Both means and ends can be evaluated as either good or bad. Ethics involve the intention to behave or actual behavior in the realm of goodness. Let us analyze the four scenarios. In an effort to win a new client for your business, you deliver a presentation about how your business is more suited for the client than your competitors. You develop a well-honed argument based on the facts at hand. Ultimately, your business is able to really help the client expand her or his market share. This ethical dilemma is an example of a good mean leading to a good end, or what is termed ethical behavior. In this case, the presenter developed a clear argument based on facts in an attempt to persuade the client, which is the mean. As a result of signing on with the presenter's company, the client increased her or his share of the market, which is the end. In essence, the presenter had a good mean, which is the persuasive argument, that lead to a good end, which is the client increased market share. Behavior that contains both a good mean and a good end is considered ethical behavior. The second scenario, in an effort to win a new client for your business, you lie to a prospective client during a presentation. The client is impressed with your presentation and decides to sign a contract with your business. Unfortunately, the lying catches up with you and you end up doing the client more harm than good, and the client starts to lose part of her or his market share. This ethical dilemma is an example of a bad mean leading to a bad end, or what is termed unethical behavior. Specifically, in order to gain business, the presenter lied to the client, which is the mean. Unfortunately, after the client was duped into signing the presenter's company, the client lost part of the market share he or she had before getting involved with the presenter's company, which is the end. In this case, the presenter had a bad mean, which he lied to client. That lead to a bad end, which the client decreased market share. When a bad mean leads to a bad end, the behavior is considered unethical. Third scenario. In an effort to win a new client for your business, you lie to a prospective client during a presentation. The client is impressed with your presentation and decides to sign a contract with your business. Even though you lied to your client, your business is ultimately able to really help the client expand her or his market share. In the third example, there was a bad mean that led to a good end, or what is termed the Machiavellian ethic. In this case, the presenter purposefully lied to the client in an effort to sign the client. After the client signed with the presenter's business, the client's share of the market increased. Here, we have a situation where there was a bad mean that led to a good end. When a bad mean leads to a good end, we refer to this as the Machiavellian ethic. The term Machiavellian ethic derived its name from Niccolo Machiavelli, who believed that the ends justify the means. Some ethicists claim that a bad mean is always unethical, while others claim that the end result is what matters when determining the goodness of a behavior. The last scenario. In an effort to win a new clients for your business, you deliver a presentation about how your business is more suited for the client than your competitors. You develop a well-honed argument based on the facts at hand. After the clients sign a contract with your business, you discover that one of your competitors is better suited for the client's specific interest. Ultimately, Your business ends up doing your client more harm than good, and the client starts to lose part of her or his market share. In the final ethical scenario, there was a good mean that led to a bad end. In this case, the presenter developed a clear argument based on facts in an attempt to persuade the client, which is the mean, or what is termed the subjective ethic. Unfortunately, after the client signed with the presenter's company, the client lost part of the market share he or she had before getting involved with the presenter's company, which is the end. When a good mean, well-honed argument leads to a bad end, which is the decrease of market share, we refer to this as the subjective ethic. This specific ethical stance is deemed subjective because the intent of the presenter is ultimately only known to the presenter. In essence, under the subjective ethic, there are two possible implications. In one case, the presenter used a perfectly good mean, that is, well-honed and honest argument, to sign the client and then purposefully decrease the client's market share. Whereas in the second case, the presenter used a good mean and the subsequent decreased market share was an unintended outcome. In the first case, there is evidence of malice on the part of the presenter. And on the second case, there are uncontrollable outcomes. Those are the four scenarios that we could consider if you want to become ethical person. That is the first part of the nature of ethics. I hope you learned something. To end this, I will leave you with a simple quotation by Harvey Mackay. Ethical decisions ensure that everyone's best interests are protected. When in doubt, don't. Thank you. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Click also the notification bell so that you will be notified for the part 2.